calculate the gradient from a graph. We are going to look at straight line graphs and how we calculate the gradient from the graph. First of all, you have to choose 2 points where you can read the coordinates exactly. So they need to go through the crosshairs. They need to be points that you can read exactly from the graph. So for example, we could choose this point and this point. Make sure that you can read them exactly. Then the gradient is found by finding the change in x and the change in y. So we see how far along and how far up or down we need to go. So we're going in the positive x direction and we're going in the positive y direction for this one. And we count how far we've gone. Use the scale to do this. So we are going from 0 to 4 in the x direction. So that's a change of 4. And in the y direction, we're going from -2 to 6. So that's a change of 8 in the y direction. And so the gradient is the change in y over the change in x. So the change in y over the change in x. So what's the difference between the y coordinates and the difference between the x coordinates? And so that would be 8 over 4, which is 2 for this one. The change in y over the change in x. Some people think of this as rise over run. Using this formula always gives us the correct sign for the gradient. So you take the second coordinate minus the first coordinate and you do it the same way round. So if we were doing this without the picture, we would do 6 take away -2 over 4 take away 0. You can see that's 8 over 4. And with the picture, we can just count. Let's look at another example. So we choose 2 points that we can read exactly. And then you see the coordinates. And if we were just using the formula, if we were just given the coordinates and we weren't given the picture, we could say it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So -1 take away 5 over 9 take away -9. It doesn't matter which ones you call 1 and which ones you call 2, as long as it's the same way round. So you can see here I've got one set of coordinates, -1 and 9, and here the other set, 5 and -9. They're above each other. It helps us to keep it straight. And so -1 take away 5 and 9 take away -9. Let's look at the picture, see how that works. And you can see there we've got a long way. And there, not as far. And we're going in the negative direction for y, but the positive direction for x. This way and this way. So we get 18, but we've moved that direction. We've gone -6 in this direction. So that is how we find the gradient of a straight line graph. We've got the formula and we've got the picture. We can use either to help us. Now the y-intercept that we've looked at before is the value of y when x equals 0. It's the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. The gradient is the slope, and it's the change in y divided by the change in x. And we have the double check of knowing whether a gradient is positive or negative.